there everybody, welcome back. So in this video I'm going to be doing my second collaboration with Bee from Bespoke Crafts, where we picked a Gummiapan die from last year's Christmas Advent Calendar. And so the first video, the last time, if I can find it, the card was, where is it? Definitely in this drawer somewhere. I should have had it out. Let's see where it is. It's definitely in here. I can't find it. Where is it? Here we are. So I chose this die set here, which is this. So it's a tree which it cuts into the card, and it's a tree and a little bird box. And she chose these lovely florals, so I made a card using both dies. So this time it's my turn, well it's both of ours turns to make a card with the die that I chose, which was this one. So I've decided that I'm going to make, I'm not sure what this card is called, the style of it, but I've seen a few of them. So what I did was, excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat. What I did was I cut out the dies, and when you cut it out, as I say, it cuts into the card. So then I cut away with a circle sponge, a circle punch that I had, and it cut this kind of away from the actual circle. So what I mean by that is I popped that on there, I punched it, and because of the size of the punch, it punched this circle away, so I was left with the tree. So I've cut out two. I'm not decided if I'm putting two trees on or just doubling up and having the one. I've cut 2 feet, as I say. So I've got a 5x7 card base, and I'm going to do it landscape again. I've also got this piece of acetate, printed acetate with snowflakes on it. So the card is measuring at, it's 5 by, I think it's 7, yeah, 7. And then we are going to cut it down to the size of the acetate. So it's 6 3/4 by 4 3/4. So if I cut this down to 6 3/4, because obviously it's 7 and 4 3/4, I think it was I said. Okay, so it just makes it slightly smaller. Now what I thought I would do to use the acetate is what I'm going to actually do is actually in my scoreboard again. So I did have a card I did this on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to score it at 2.5. It won't be 2.5, it will be, so I need to just bend it back a bit because it will be roughly there. So that is, let's measure that. That's going to be roughly, what have I said here, just over 2 1/4. Not quite. So I'm just going to cut that here. And I have changed I just changed my blade on this, so I think it must just be the card that I'm using that's making it raggy, but it won't matter about that because I'm actually going to rip the card, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. So what I thought I'd do was I'd rip the card, I'd put that on the back, I'd have some inking, and then I'd have the trees on top. Now I have got a card I was playing with earlier, so this is what I'm thinking I'll do. So rip this, I've got a blue bit down the middle that I've already inked. That would go onto there, that would go onto there like that. And then that comes across, and then we stick our tree on top. So that's what it's going to look like roughly. So put that to the side. So what I need to do is just rip it a bit. So I'm going to rip it from this side. And I'm just going to make it a wiggly sort of ripped line like that. Okay, might have to rip it a little bit more, and then the same here. I'm just going to rip it and make it a bit of a wiggly ripped area like that. Don't mean to quite do that, but that's okay. I probably have to rip it a little bit more because I think that's not quite enough. So I'll stick that piece to there, and then probably stick it up a bit, and then I will stick this on top. You'll see a bit of blue through there, and then we put the tree on. So I think I do need to rip this a little bit more, so I'm just going to rip that a bit more. Like that. And then let's see this bit here. Is that going to be enough? I don't want to have it too ripped, so I need something for this to hang on to. So I could rip it slightly more, just a little bit. Like that. Let's see. Just so we can see a little bit more of the blue. Oh, I don't want to do too much, so there we go. That's probably better. So to get the blue piece, so just pop these all on there at the side. So to get the blue piece, what I did was I opened that up and I got a piece of paper, and I'm using the Elements Della Blue from Lavinia Stamps. And what I did was I just came down slightly from the top, about an inch down, and then I placed this piece of paper because I wanted a sort of nice straight edge, and I used this Della Blue like so. I could use other colours as well, but I just wanted quite a dark sort of colour in the background. Probably not the best card for blending on, hence it's got a bit of a funny kind of mottled look, but that's okay. And then I turned it round and I had a look with this piece because I thought, well, I want to just see where it's going to be going, so that will cover that, that's fine. And then I went sort of about, let's see, so we said about there, we want it kind of, so we want the same thing, and we just want to use what's actually on our brush just to lighten it slightly down at the bottom. This is a bit squint here, we'll just bring that a wee bit down there. It won't matter too much, but so just blending that in bit more. There we go. So that's how I did that bit at the back, and then pop that away, I think. And then that's fine, and that works fine as well. It looks quite nice. So we need to attach this piece inside. So we're going to attach it just on the top, like that, and then it should come all the way down to the bottom, which it does. So I'm going to attach it with some, where is it, tape, double-sided tape, and I'm just going to put the tape on the top part here. And then I can stick on, when I find the end, I can stick on that acetate on top. So piece just along there. Try not to put your hands in the ink, Shirley. And another piece just here. And one more piece along the top. Just shy of that rip mark. Like that. There we go. And then I can just tear these back. Oh, right, and then let's just decide which bits we want over. If we want that sort of lighter bit down there. I think so. So I'm just going to pop this on here, just behind that. I can't quite see, just behind that line. Actually, the best thing to probably do is just to do this. Says she. Maybe not. Let's just get it into roughly, I think that's roughly where it should go. It's gone over the, I don't want it to go over. No. So I don't want it to go over. Let's just put a wee bit of glue actually on the back, because it sticks way over there. It's because I had my adopted granddaughter the other day, Ella, and she was she was painting and she was sticking, and we left it over there. That's fine, no worries. Anyway, so let's just put a wee bit of glue on there, just so that we can position that without making a huge mistake. So it's hard to see because it's acetate, really. I think that's it. Yep, that's it now. I'm sure that's it. Yep, that's fine. I think it's slightly over here, but I can trim that back. And then just to get this piece on, so depending on which way I'm going to put it, I can either have that bit like that or that bit like that, which is probably better. So I'm just going to put some of the double-sided tape onto the back of here. Exactly the same thing, just below the torn piece will make it just fine. Now before I do that, I think I need to cut this edge. So just going down that edge there with my big scissors, just cutting that off because it's a bit too overhanging. That's it, that's better. And let's just so please take a look at B as well, her channel and her video for this. Just lining that up. There we go, making sure that's stuck down, and then we've got, oh, how did I get that on there? We've got that like that and that there. So that makes our card front, which I think is really pretty. Like that. Fab. And then let's get down to the tree. So I can either put just the tree on as is. Like that. Oh, excuse me. I can double up, as I say, like that, or I can have two trees. So I could have two trees just in the winter. Let's just colour them in first and then see what we'll do with them. So we've got the wee bird boxes as well, and let's just see what we're going to do. So let's colour them in. So I'm going to move this stuff out the way. This was some stuff I was doing earlier, so I can move that out the way now because I can. So let's get my pens. So put that over there at the minute. So I'm thinking something that's not going to be too, it's going to be a sort of very pale grey colour, I think. Right, let me think what I can colour this in with. I've got this one, which is a very cool grey colour, which I often use to colour things in when I just want a little bit of sort of shadow. And I think I might have done that on the last one. I don't know if I did or not, but it looks similar. So this is just a very pale grey. It's called BG038 Cool Grey. So yeah. So because as well it's a sort of winter scene, I want to sort of keep it like that. And I'm going to get the colourless blender as well, just to blend that wee bit out, because I don't want to try and give it quite a more sort of smooth finish. So let's see. I mean, you probably can't see there's that much of a change. I'll bring you down very slightly, and I'm just going to go over the edges of there, just to kind of, so it's not just a bit that's got pen mark type bits on it there. So we've got that. What I could do is just put a very, very, very pale. Now this should be just quite pale. It says warm grey, so better just check. That's quite warm. Maybe just a little bit of warm grey just on there might work. Might make it stand out slightly more. Just in between all the little twigs and things. Might just kind of make it work better. We'll see in a minute. I've still not coloured that one in, because if it's not looking how I want it, I can easily use that for the top. But we'll see what it's like. Might be okay, I don't know. Might just try and do some of these wee bits that are embossed bits, and then we can go over it again with that grey and then see what we think. And if it's not really what I want to do, I'll just go back to the white one and just use it. Oh, there's not many wee bits there. Right, let's just go over that again. So it's over with the BG038, and I'm just going to take the big thick edge over it all. I mean, this might look fine. It's just, I don't want to spoil the look that I was hoping to get. This will fade back in a second, because it does. That's what it does, and it's good that way, because then it's not such in your face. See what I mean? Like that. So it looks okay. I don't mind it. It's okay. I think it looks okay. Let's do that as well. Right, let's just see first. So bring the card back in. Does look actually okay against that. I think I'm just going to go with it, and I'm going to double it up. So I need the tweezers, and I just need this as well, and the glue. So I'll just put some glue onto the back here. zoom you out in a minute. Why did I do that? That's not what I wanted to do. That's the wrong bit. I bet you were shouting at me. Why are you doing it that way? Don't know. Right. Let's just turn this round, and we'll just have to try and get it on without getting glue everywhere. And I'm going to get glue everywhere. Where's the cloth? Let's just get my fingers on the cloth there. That's better. So just trying to grab this and just trying to get it in to the same bit as the rest. Now actually I could just do a slight, very slight drop shadowy bit. I can. Not sure I'll be able to do it. This doesn't quite marry up there, does it? That's fine. That'll do. Yeah, so that's going to fit onto there. So let's just put glue back on it. Kind of put it, I think, here, like that. Get rid of that glue. Right, I'll bring you up slightly again because I moved you, didn't I? I don't want you to be too near because I know sometimes I get too near. Right, let's just colour in the little bird box. So I could colour him in a nice gold. I've got a nice new gold pen. This one here, which is Heart of Gold Metallics Faber-Castell, and it will be just nice as a gold. Now let me just find something to. Here's something I can just do it on. So just gold here. So when you get this video, I'll be on holiday again. I'm going on holiday up to the north of Scotland. Looking forward to it. But you will get videos out to you. So see, I've got a few videos on the go and they will be coming out to you. So let's put some glue onto here. Now I'm going to sort that bit at the bottom of the tree because I don't want it to look like it's just floating in the air. So let's just pop this on like that. There we go, and then we're going to pop this on to the tree. So let's just lift it up. Come on. Lift that onto there. So we're just going to pop that there. And there's my excess glue there that I don't want. Oh, don't move so much. That's it, that's fine. And then in the middle of that little hole, I want to put a bit of black paint. If I've got some here, I do. So that it doesn't just look it's going straight through to the tree. So just in the middle, put this black paint, just so it looks like actually a hole. Right, so what I want to do is just create a little sort of piece here. And I've got this little bit from the first card that I was playing about with. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of grey. Hopefully with one of these brushes. So I've got some grey. Where's my grey? No, that's not grey. Let me just find the grey. No, that's the green. I've just redone my craft room, and here we go. I've got all my greys, all my ink pads and the likes in front of me. So I just want to put a wee bit of grey there. So if it's kind of, hopefully I've not spoiled it. That'll be okay. That makes it look a bit more like it's got something there to just put a wee bit more down here. And it'll just tail off. That's fine. That's a bit better. I've got all my pads. What I was trying to say is I've got all my ink pads and all my sprays and all my pens in front of me. So it's much better. So now, let's see, what else could we put on it as well? So that's basically it. But I need to find a little bit of something else just to finish it off, to put a wee sentiment or something on. So I'm just popping my pens back, which go in front of me, as I said, here on the front. So I'm just wondering, I'm quite happy with that and hope you like that. I think it's quite cute. So I'm just thinking what I can actually add to it. I need to add a sentiment. So that was the first card that I did. First one, yeah. So let's see if I can add a little bit of a sentiment or something to it that is going to work, and then that will just probably be done. I could add some nice little gems. I've got these little tiny stars. I don't know if they would look silly. Let's see what else we've got gem wise. I could just put some wee gems like that on it. Let's see what these are like. These are self-adhesive snowflakes, so they are snowflakes as well. So they are from Stampin' Up, and I've had them for ages and I've never opened them. So I've had them, I've probably had them since when I was a Stampin' Up demo at one point. But anyway, enough about that. So let's see what these might look like. Oh yeah, maybe put a few wee bits of them on, just to finish it off. Try and cover some of these marks. And I'll just add a wee sentiment as well at the bottom. So that's 3, 4, and maybe 5 there. I'll do. Right, put that there, back into the box. And let's see if we can find a sentiment of some description to add. Let's see if there's anything here we can add. I don't know. Golly. What about this one? Go where the heart takes you. I know it's in black, but mystery tush. Yeah, that will work. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed watching, and do as always let me know your thoughts. And that is my second card as part of the collaboration with Bee from Bespoke Crafts, using the die from last year's Advent calendars from Gummiapan. So do let me know your thoughts if you like it, and yep, check out Bee's video if you haven't already, and please remember to like, subscribe and share. Thanks so much. Bye.